Stuart Schweigert. What's up, my brother?
Good.
Hey, Chris and Spicy, thanks for letting me pull up.
Of course, thanks for coming through.
Kind of making my rounds today. Went on Wasted Show. I had a show, had Cap on there for a little bit, and I saw you guys were on, so I thought I'd come on and chop it up for a little bit.
Thank you,
man. Awesome. So, what are your what are your thoughts, man? You know, just going into this game.
Hey, Chris, sorry, we'll take the call down line off.
Oh yeah, let me get that. Yeah, my bad. All right, there we go. Yeah. So, yeah, what's your thoughts just going into this game, man? You know, coming off of that.
I'm going to say this: the NFL, these next 3 weeks are going to be crazy. Wait, where'd you guys go?
Here. I was giving you the floor, man. I was giving you the floor.
No. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No. Let me see. Yeah, right. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. These next couple of weeks are going to be crazy. A lot of teams that are vying for playoff spots are going to be playing each other. So there's, obviously besides Philadelphia, Kansas City, and maybe someone else. As far as that, there's about 10 teams that are going to be battling these next couple of weeks. So we've got a great chance. I've said it in all of the shows I've been on today. I would love, because I got to believe that AP has been, every week tweaking maybe the practice schedule, maybe the, when they do things, how they do things, practice tempo. I'd love to know the difference between the week of preparation for the Vikings and then the short week with the Chargers, what they tweaked or what they did different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have done nothing different, but I'd love to know if they did something different and just to see what that little tweak was and for them to build off it. But I'm excited about this game because Kansas City, if anything doesn't play the greatest at home, I think they're they've had 3 losses at home this season. I think they're 3-4 or no, 4-3 at home.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. Let me just take a look here, just so I'm not speaking out of turn here. They are 4-3 at home.
Yeah, 4-3. Yeah.
5-2 away, and they haven't been playing well. I mean, they really haven't. I mean, really, they should be on a 3-game losing streak, to be honest with you.
Right.
With the Packers game, the Bills game, and then the Patriots game, but they haven't been playing that good of football. I think Mahomes is getting frustrated. I think Kelsey is. I think he should. I think he's done. He's so caught up in so much stuff off the field,
right?
And
every damn commercial,
every commercial, on the whole Taylor Swift thing, and I think some, in the podcast he does with his brother, and I think it's just, I think it's too. You can't. You only have so much, right? And your whole focus when you're in the NFL needs to be on your team. And you can have some side stuff, obviously. I mean, that's the way it is, right? I mean, they're making side money. They have promotional stuff they need to do. They have sponsors. They have requirements they need to do. But you need to focus your energy, on the team. I mean,
it's kind of like the saying, right? Good at a lot of things, master at none.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're not willing, because what it is you're letting your teammates down.
Right.
If you're not at your best, you could get one of your teammates hurt because you're not preparing the way that you used to, and you're not playing the way that you used to. And for me, I know for me, when I knew I wasn't able to give my best physically, it was time for me to
let it go.
You know what I mean? If I can't be at my best, it's disrespectful, to the sport. It's disrespectful to my teammates, the team that I'm a part of. And for me, if I'm not able to be at my best, I don't want to put anything on film that could be a lasting impression.
That's a good point.
Right?
Good point, yeah.
So that's why for me, if I'm not able to compete at 100%, I don't do like the beer leagues, softball or the flag.
You're getting all or nothing from me. Yeah,
it is. It really is. So I think we have a great opportunity. and all this, I think especially if we go in there and we beat Kansas City, you give AP the job. I mean, you do. Even if we finish 2-2, 2-1 in these last 3 games, I think he's still a very good candidate. I mean, for what he's been able to do and the players that he's bringing in. I mean, Jack Jones. I mean, I've loved that guy. I said he was going to have a big game last week. He had that great interception. He's been getting better every week. I'd love to see what AP can do in some free agency and with the draft.
Right.
He brings in football players,
right?
Because again, everyone gets so caught up in numbers. And here's the deal: what a guy does in college has no predictions on what his career in the NFL is going to be like. Now, Randy Mosses and the Dan Marinos and these guys that Calvin Johnsons that come out, they're going to be good. We know they're going to be good, right? There's those certain players that are just those Hall of Fame guys, Warren Saps and these type of players. But for the rest of it, because of a good college career doesn't indicate what he's going to be as a pro. Right. And it's so funny how everyone gets caught up in, but here's the deal: potential can go a long way. We know what Aiden O'Connell can do, and we've seen him throw touchdown passes and win games for us. But this guy over here, that hasn't pissed a drop in the NFL. Why are you going to take a chance on this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, to come in and be the guy. It's always. I always laugh because, again, for AP, undrafted free agent, right? AP's a football player. And for me, that's how I evaluate. Are you a football player? Right. The first thing I want to see is your game film. I don't give a crap about your height.
Yeah, the combine. Yeah.
Your conference, your team prestige, how fast you are. I want to know if you can play football. I want to know what you're doing on special teams, how you practice, how you prepare, how you treat your teammates. Once I see that and I like it, now let's say I have 2 guys that these are football players. Obviously, a tiebreaker is going to go down to probably who's the bigger and who's the faster guy, depending on the position. But to go with that first, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how many times I'd see guys in just helmets and underwear. They look like the next coming of football, right?
Yeah.
Awesome pads get on and they're gone. And there's other dudes that you look at and you're like, and then all of a sudden pads come on and he knows football. He's a football player.
He's a football player.
And AP knows how to get football players, and that's what I love is a GM and a coach who I think are on the same page, going and getting football
players. Yep.
That fit how they want the Raiders to be represented. And so far, I think the mentality and the guys have been phenomenal. I mean, again, I think Spillane is the perfect example.
Yeah.
A guy I remember when he came from Pittsburgh, I'm like,
that's a ball player.
This is a big free agent signing. But again, that's the linebacker room. Who's in charge of the linebacker room?
Right.
I mean, that's AP, right? So I love it. I mean, obviously the players love him. I mean, I've had again, he reminds me a lot of like the Lions coach, and I had the privilege of playing with both these guys when I was with the Lions and when I was with the Giants. And great guys, again, great football players, guys that don't need to prove anything, right? You're not a coach that has to come in and prove how much he knows football by terminology and a big playbook and trying to be that guy that's, this is my show and this is like,
right.
He doesn't need to.
We've had a lot of that.
So that's. So
how do you think Champ fits into all of this? How do you think Champ fits into all of this?
So I don't really know. You know? I mean, I've listened to some of his stuff. I think him and AP are on the same page. I think the one thing that I like is when I listen to Champ, he's a family man. Me and my notes. I had notes from when he first talked, but the one, like I said, he's a family man. He's not that it means a whole lot, but he's a religious man. I think it's about the team. I don't think he has a big ego, which I think is crucial at times. I think he's a humble guy. I think he's level-headed. And but again,
do you think we give him a shot at this draft?
I don't see. That's the thing for me is how do you evaluate some of these GMs? Like, who's the one?
Exactly.
Who's the one saying get this kid?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's why going back to a lot of these last drafts is like, who picked that person? Who was pounding on the table for, X, Y, and Z?
There's gotta be. I mean, in those war rooms, I mean, you're talking probably 20, 25 different guys that all are going to have their input.
Right.
Find one that says,
like that is, and that's what I want to know. I wish people had to be held accountable to that. Like, honestly, like you do a grade card at the end of the season, like, hey, you pick these guys.
But see, so here's an issue with that though, and sometimes guys get screwed is because there'll be a guy that says, I will put my, if this guy doesn't pan out, get rid of me.
Yeah.
So that guy is going to do everything that he possibly can
not to mess it up.
That guy makes
it.
Even if there's a 6th-round pick, a free agent,
he's gonna keep him on the field. That's a good point.
And especially if it's a high draft pick, because you're paying this guy a lot,
right?
So he has to work out. The last thing you want to do is substitute him in with a guy that's getting paid league minimum. The owner's going to be going, what the hell? Like, you're wasting my money. You don't know what the hell you're doing, which is unfortunate because, that's why I say the best player doesn't always play.
That's true. It's a business. It's politics in it.
It is. It is money, draft status, who picked that guy goes into it, unfortunately.
Let me ask you this, Stu, just circling back a little bit to our last caller was saying, it's up to the coach to say, hey, this is what the Chiefs have done to us in the past. This is the ring around the rosy play. This is how they've mocked us. This is how they think the Raiders are a joke, and they're gonna continue that trend.
Let me ask you this: was there something with when Gruden won and he did the buses around the stadium or something? What
I think that's why they did it. I think that's why they did it. Honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
They did their little victory. They did a little victory lap with the bus. Yep. But I'm just wondering, when you go into a Chiefs game and you kind of you know that as a Raider and you know the history and you know the rivalry and you know how everyone feels about it in the fans.
Who knows the history and who knows the rivalry? Who?
Well, I'm saying I'm asking you as a player. So that's my question. Like, does that go into your thought process or not at all? Is it just another game, or are you like, yeah, we want to get back at these guys because of the history and the rivalry, or you kind of go into it as a player going, it's just another game. It's week. We're in this week now, and this is how we want to approach it. Like, is there a different mindset or not?
So, from 2010 until like about 2019, I didn't watch NFL. Nothing, right? So I can't speak for those years, but when I first got back with the Raiders and watched, one thing that always kind of upset me was I didn't think the players knew the history of the Raiders, what it meant to be a Raider, the number they're wearing, and how many Hall of Famers are in the, watching. And the perfect example.
To me, that could be an issue. To you, is that an issue or no?
That's a huge issue to me.
Okay, yeah, I would expect the players to know those type of things.
And I go back to 2 years ago when Woodson, I was very privileged to be at his Hall of Fame game, which was against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And you had, I think there was 7 or 8 former Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
They're on the field before the game. That that big guy that comes out had his bus. And Charles spoke, and his family's down there, and 24s everywhere. And I'm thinking, if I'm a player, and I know I'm gonna go out there, and there's 9 or 10 Hall of Famers wearing their yellow jackets that were Raiders, sitting there watching me. I'm going to make, regardless if you win or lose, I'm gonna make sure that they're gonna say, "Shit, hey." That dude did what he could. Yep. And I'm thinking, especially if I'm wearing number 24, like, dude, Like you better, especially because the whole stadium has 24
Right.
on, right?
Yeah.
And the person wearing 24 just played. I mean, the whole team played terrible, but 24 specifically played really bad. And I'm watching them and I'm going, I don't even think it
resignated.
I'm thinking for me, I would to be wearing that number. I mean, that number comes with a lot of history.
Yes.
A lot of history. And when you pick that number when it's not your number in college, that's saying something. You know what I mean? That's making a statement. And it's a very bold statement.
Live up to it.
And I'm thinking if that were me and I played that game, I would have took that jersey off, found Woodson and said, I apologize.
Wow.
I am my number. Really, Woodson should walk down there and said, hey,
give me that. You don't deserve that, bro. You don't deserve that.
And not even for me, for Willie Brown. You know,
right. Right.
So I know for one thing, AP, I think, is at least getting guys to know the history of the and I go back to Willie Brown again. I'm sure you guys have heard this story, but I love this story. It's one of my favorite stories of Willie Brown, who I love dearly. God rest his soul. One of the greatest ever, right? I mean, not only player, but person. I mean, just, never drank or drugged the entire life. Smoked his True Blue cigarettes, him and Freddie B under the bleachers, at halftime, smoking their cigarettes. But I remember, get drafted on Saturday, fly out on Thursday, and it was mini camp, right? And it was the whole team mini camp. It wasn't these little rookie deal. It was everybody, right? And I remember one of our first meetings was with Will, and it was the drafted player. So there's about like 7 of us or 8 of us. And we go in the team room and he said, put your pads down, your playbooks down, and look up here. And he was on the stage and he had like this, like the Raiders, like history book, I remember this black book with 3 of the, the silver Super Bowl trophies on it. And he said, guys, he said, go home tonight and study this.
I love that.
He said, look at this and figure out what these players, who they were and what they had to do to win 3 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Like what it took to win, the type of statistics, what a great player is. And he said, secondly, so you first, so you know what you need to do in the type of standards to be a Raider legend and maybe get a chance to play for a Super Bowl. But he said, secondly, these guys are going to be around here, right? Yeah. So when you see those guys, you go up and you shake their hand and say thank you. And that's one thing I've always been huge on, is making sure that to know who's around. I mean, it would be sacrilegious. I'm in Napa at training camp and there's Jack Tatum and I don't even say anything to him.
Yeah.
So I know with AP, I feel like he's letting guys know, one, how to be how to represent the NFL. Because again, I mean, it's a very small fraternity, and 2, how to act as an NFL player, but 2, not only when you're with the Raiders, there's a different expectation, right? There's a mentality, there's a way that you play, there's a way that you conduct yourself, there's a way that you intimidate on the field with playing within the rules. And I know for me, I feel like at least that's getting taught to these guys.
Okay.
I see that. I see the way that Max Crosby is playing, and I see the way that Blaine is playing, and I see the way that Jones is playing, and I see the way that Epps has been playing, and Robertson, and that's just defense, but they're playing the mentality of, you might win this game, but you're going to feel it. And we're not going to make it easy. I mean, if you do beat us, you're going to be, or when you're watching film and guys are going, man, we got to play the Raiders this week.
Yeah. You're going to be in a fight. You're going to be in a fight.
Yeah. And they're going to fight. They're going to play the entire game regardless of what the score is. And I feel like that's being taught.
Yeah.
But again, as far as like the GM goes, I mean, I just like the fact that he doesn't have an ego. He's not.
Yeah. My guys. This is the only thing I want.
Because we've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of that, and it hasn't really worked out so well.
Yeah.
No, and also the coaches. I mean, one of the first thing AP said was, this New York game's not about AP versus the Giants. It's the Raiders.
Yeah, I love it.
And again, a lot of these coaches, they have huge egos.
Yeah, it's bigger.
And they think, which I don't know why, they think people pay tickets to see them. It's like no one cares about you
at all. Yeah. At all.
Like that doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? And AP's that guy that is blue collar. He knows what it is to come from nothing and work from nothing. And again, this guy's telling Eli Manning, like, yo, you don't talk to the Raiders that way when he's playing.
Love that, man.
Like, that's crazy.
Love
that really is crazy.
Yeah.
So I think he's the perfect guy for the job. I think we got players in line. So I'd love to see what these guys can. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, they're out there proving it now.
Yeah.
You know they can do it.
I agree.
Right. Why bring in some guy that's never even done anything for the Raiders?
Right. You can tell the players are responding to him. You can tell that they're playing for themselves, but for their coach as well. They're playing with heart and passion. And you just see a whole different vibe now than you have from like the last several coaches that the Raiders have had.
They believe in what he's saying.
Yes.
Right? So many coaches when I played would blow smoke up your butt. Oh yeah, you're my guy, and all of a sudden they cut you, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, it's all about actions. Yeah.
Like what? Tell me, like.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a 5-minute uncomfortable conversation. Let me know if I'm screwing up.
Right.
So let me know why you cut me, so I don't go to this.
I get better.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think AP's at least. Hey, listen. Here's what it is, and it went back to last week, and I was excited, and I said it before the game. You know, Graf said, "Stu, what do you think about AP pulling AOC aside and saying, listen, you're on a short lease today?"
I loved it.
Great.
Loved it.
And what I said, I love that. I said, I love that because I saw Aiden O'Connell at Purdue for 3 years. We had a coach, Jeff Brom, who was a great coach, doing great things at Louisville, played 11 years in the NFL, quarterback. He was a mother on those quarterbacks, man. Like, boy. And I remember every time Brom's into Aiden's just, yep. And then we'll go out there and have his best games. So I said, Aiden plays his best when it's like
he responds well to that.
Yeah. Yep. He is a true professional. And I talked about, here's a rookie who's doing these post-game interviews and taking the blame for things when we have other guys just skipping out. Like that. As a professional, your job is to deal with the media. That is
good or bad.
We like it or not, right?
You were to go to
the job.
Just, I don't feel like doing that today. I'm just not going to do it. What's your boss going to say?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you, go ahead, Chris.
So Stu, I do got a question for you. So from your playing days, did your coordinators sit up in the booth or were they down on the sideline? And like from a player standpoint, is there a difference for you?
So for me, I always felt the offensive coordinator should be in the booth and the defensive coordinator should be on the field.
Okay.
And maybe I feel that way because that's kind of how it was. Rob Ryan was because
right there.
I felt like I liked again, Rob Ryan was our head coach, right? I mean, it really was. I mean, the head coach was always with the offense, right?
Right.
Practice and meetings and da. So our head coach was always was Rob Ryan. And I'd like to be able to see him, see him on the sideline and to be able to have him, guys, get in here. Here's here's what's going on. So I mean, it was really good. I mean, obviously, you can wonder why 05 and 06 and during those years we had a great defense, especially in 06. You had Rob Ryan and Wink Martindale on the field, and you had Chuck Pagano and Willie Brown and Randy Hansen up in the booth, right? Then you had Keith Millard, the D-line, like he's on the field there. So what was the question you had?
You prefer the OC in the booth?
What's that?
He asked if you prefer the OC in the booth since he was
I think the OC is more of a strategic
big picture,
play calling, where he sees the whole field. Where I feel like the defensive coordinator sometimes you're going off the emotion of your defense. What kind of once you know from up top what the personnel grouping is and what the down and distance is, but you kind of have a feeling, and I think you need to be on the field to kind of feel that, you know what I'm saying? And to get those, it's hard for a coach to explain to the D coordinator, hey, this is what the guys are saying, rather than him
being there and talking to them.
Is there a way these days with technology that whoever's in the booth could have a similar interaction or camaraderie with the guys on the sideline? Like, has the game evolved that much? I know that, there's certain players with, the mic and the head and the helmet and whatnot. Yep. But what you're speaking of, is there a way to kind of get that hoorah, if you will, from the booth with the technology?
Unless it's like a hologram or something.
Yeah, like a hologram.
I mean, I know they have those. I think they have iPads or whatever.
Tablets,
probably, but no,
not the same.
I don't think so. I mean, you have those phones, right? Even those phones sometimes.
Yeah.
Do they even have those anymore? I feel like back in the day, you used to always see like, Al's calling from up top. Bro, like you don't even see those phones anymore.
That was the thing. As I told people, I said sometimes you answer that motherfucker, or sorry, mother, and I'm thinking it's Chuck Pagano or Clayton Lopez or
it's Al,
Darren Perry, and hey, yeah, what's up, good? What? And you're like, get your shit. Hey, coach, what the hell were you doing out there? And then as you try to answer them,
click, yeah.
The phones back. I think we need the phones back.
We need the phones back. Jack.
That's true. I
don't see the phones no more.
I never see them. Never, no.
And that's funny because they were like the phones with like the cord.
Yeah, the old school. Yeah.
There was a dude that was like
hey, he wasn't talking to you.
He was a big, tall dude. I remember him, and he was Stu. And usually it was always, usually I was talking to Chuck, and it was all, pretty good stuff. But once in a while, man, you're like, hey, coach, yeah, and then it's Al, and you're like,
That's awesome.
He loved his defense.
Did they ever record those? Can we release those?
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be great. That would be great.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
So just to circle back real quick, it seems like just a comment and then a question for you. It seems like back kind of like to the first question that I asked is like it is up to the players to know the history and to know what it means. But I think it's also up to the players who have been there, maybe to the players that haven't, to kind of lead the way, which is what you spoke of a little bit too.
Well, so that was one thing that was great about the Raiders. And when I was with the Lions, like Herman Moore would come around and Barry Sims would come around and oh God, who was the all-pro tight end back in like 84? What was his name? Anyways, he might come around a little bit. And when I was in Washington, what's his name? The Joe Theismann was kind of there around. But the Raiders, like, they were
alumni.
They're around.
Jim Otto, Fred Litkoff, obviously coaching.
And still
Brown, Flores, George Atkinson with the shows and Jim Plunkett with the shows, right?
You still see him there.
So you see him, and though it was nice to have those guys there. One, just to interact with them, and to get their feedback on things. I wish the Raiders, they do a great job of bringing guys back with the alumni, right?
Yeah.
But there's not enough guys in that building. I don't know if there's any.
Well, they were showing last game. Jim Plunkett was there. Fred Biletnikoff was there.
But they're there, but they're up in the stands.
Right. Yeah, they're in the suite. Right.
Yeah, like they were like, I remember every Monday, we'd that's your big film day watching film, and we'd have like a 10-15 minute break, and I'd always go right out the back, and I'd go right into, he had a corner office, Jim Otto, and we would sit there and talk about hunting or his when he was in, his off season, being a wrestler, and he'd tell me about times he was chasing women and, just different things. And it was cool to sit and I knew where those guys were at, and they'd come out to practice, like being at the room.
Different.
There's no, at least when we come back, there's no interaction. I mean, there's no interaction with the players at all.
That's interesting.
So, but I see Marshawn Lynch out on the field and things of that nature. I see him out there high-fiving people when they're stretching. I've seen him on the sidelines a little bit.
And do you think it's a Vegas thing because they're in Vegas?
That they're not doing it, or that?
Well, like they're not there because maybe like when they were in Oakland, maybe guys were just more around. Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is having guys with positions on the.
Okay. So actually, okay.
Oh,
I
got you.
I mean,
okay.
like I said, George Atkinson and Otto and Plunkett and Willie Brown and Bolitnikoff and these guys had positions with the Raiders, and I'd like to see
kind of like advisors or something.
I'd love to see
on this show a bunch. We'd love to see consultants.
Charles Woodson.
Great.
Who was the returner that we had like in 2016? Great. He was a receiver, little guy.
In 2016.
Yeah, I don't recall, but yeah, I see.
Anyways, but
it'd be nice to have these guys as
I think there should be
advisors.
I think there should be a position of a former. I think for every team.
Yeah.
A former player, a guy
like an ambassador almost, like a player ambassador.
He's not a coach.
Yeah.
He's not a coach, but he's there for the players just to mentor and to help with things, where a player knows they can go up and be open and honest with this guy. Because again, it might be a little bit different now. There's not such a stigma on mental issues and concussions and depression and different things, right? But where you can go up and you feel like you can talk to him and he's going to say, well, you know what, I was going through some things. Here's what I did. Where it's not just about, it's if you're having issues with your wife or a girlfriend or just things that player can help out, especially with the young guys. Here is how to be a professional. Like I was really lucky because not only did I have, those, like I said, the Raider legends, but I had guys like Warren Sapp and really Ray Buchanan and Woodson and Ted Washington and Bobby Hamilton and these guys to teach me how to be a
love it.
How to watch film, how to take notes, how to practice, how to conduct yourself outside. And I think for many years we didn't have a guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we had a guy. So how do you expect these guys to know if they're not being taught it, right? I mean, yeah, guys should take it upon themselves, but they should also have someone that's showing them what it is to be a Raider and what it is to be a professional. And now I think guys like Crosby and Spillane can stand up and younger guys can follow suit. I think these guys have enough credibility and they've made enough plays and they've conducted themselves in a way that I feel happy that there is a nucleus of guys that are saying, this is how we operate. This is how we practice. This is how we play. This is what we do. This is how we address the media. This is how we act after a loss. It hurts. It means something. We're not, again, this whole trading jerseys and stuff like that. I get it. But like, if Al Davis saw us, like, because I used to go out like 3 hours before and like get a good warm up before. Like I had like an hour warm up and you'd see some, coaches that you knew or some players. And I remember always like, I'd say hi to him, but I'd say, hey, I got to go because if Al Davis sees me talking to you, he didn't like that shit.
I like that. I like
before the game or after the game. And I like it too. Like, you come up, hey,
quick.
But trading jerseys, especially after a loss, like usually after a loss, man, I'm going to go up and if I do have guys on the team, it's just, hey, safe travels home or hey, good game. And I'm out. I'm pissed, man. I'm not going to sit here and sign all, take these pictures and lovey-dovey with everybody. Like I'm pissed, man. I'm mad. I'm mad. I don't want to communicate with you.
I love that you say that because honestly, that's one of the things that I use to help like not make me be so upset after the games because I used to be so pissed it would mess up like the rest of my day. But then I used to see these players. laughing and joking after the game, and I'm like, why am I over here all upset, and these players are over here taking pictures after they just? I'm like, I'm done.
I was the same way. I'm going. Yeah. I need to chill out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting. I mean, for instance, even like I said, all or nothing. I mean, the Minnesota game. Oh, no. The game before that. Who did we play before that? Miami? No.
It was a bye week, so it was Miami. Yeah, it was Miami, then bye, and then Minnesota.
That Miami game, it takes me to watch the game. Even if I watch it, on a show with guys or whatever, I don't see anything. I don't really.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
Right.
It takes me 5 hours to watch a game, and it took me 5 hours, and then 23 pages of notes, and then trying to. I remember I did a show. I was about 2 hours in, and I was only halfway through the second quarter. And then I'm thinking, like, what am I doing?
Right.
Like, I am right. Like,
they all moved on already.
Spending way more time than the players
are. They are.
Yeah.
But that's just how it was. That's what I look like. You do. Like, that's how I was taught by Ray Buchanan and Warren Sapp and these dudes, because I needed to know what I was doing. Right. Man. That's how you earn the respect from your teammates, is knowing what you're doing and then going out there and playing tough. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, I remember that's why some games I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I gotta like just watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
I think that's a valid point, though. I don't think what you're doing is too much. I think we get these canned answers in interviews where teams, the Raiders will win or lose and be like, okay, well, we're on to the next one.
Well, and here's the
and I know
you bring up a really
you
bring up a really good point. Again, I do a lot of research, right? I watch a lot of podcasts, or YouTube channels, guys who are popular. What makes this person popular? What is it about this person? What do they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also like to do where I'll do I like to watch interviews of players. How they respond to the media, how they conduct themselves, and one thing that always bothered me, and I haven't watched the last couple of weeks in the interviews, but before was there was no football terms being used when they were addressed. It was, we're gonna come back and we're gonna practice hard and we're gonna come together and we're gonna.
So canned.
It's like, no shit. I mean, it's expected of you to practice hard and watch.
Yeah.
And I want to hear, like, we got to do better on third down. Our third down defense, when they're an empty, they're running these routes that we hadn't seen yet. They're running these pivot routes. They're in the red zone. We didn't expect them to run 12 personnel play action. We hadn't seen that yet. Or defensively, they outmatched us. We were doing a certain. Forgive me. We were doing a certain personnel grouping that when we actually did it on the game, it didn't match up correctly. We had guys out of position. Like again, like it'd be like coming to the sideline. Because I remember this, a coach would always be like, when you come to the sideline, like I ask you a question, I need to know like what the formation was, the down and distance, the route concept. Like I need to know stuff. It's not just, hey, what was out there? Oh, they caught the ball.
You need to know the details of what just happened.
Yeah, like I want to know your football IQ.
Yeah,
that I want to know that you know what's going on. Otherwise, and again, it was so. And I don't know if they're taught that, but it was just so vanilla.
It turns off, I'll say a couple names that bug me the most. And I don't mean to throw guys under the bus, but speaking of press conferences, there's two guys that was cringeworthy to me. And I felt like they did those things, which turned me off to them. Jack Del Rio and Derek Carr. I think they were like Jack Del Rio was always like, "Oh, we lost our mojo." That means nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to fix it if that's your explanation? And Derek Carr is
I've heard that before from somebody else.
How is? Yeah, okay, fine. You're a good guy, and you're taking the heat from it. But how is that going to fix it? Those two terms, mojo and all on me, like
all on me.
He
still does that.
You know what I'm saying? Like those two guys, for me, it's like those press conferences. It was just like, come on, guys, come up with something. Give us something as fans, because maybe you've moved on, but we're watching press conferences because we're still invested and we want to know why you're not executing. You know what I mean?
And here's the other thing too, and Devontae has been guilty of this. If you're upset, let us know why you're upset.
Yeah, instead of leaving, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Agree. Like it'd be like in your marriage, right? And your partner may be doing something they don't even know that they're doing.
Yeah.
It's upsetting you. And all you have to do is just say, "Hey, could you please stop doing this?" "Oh, I didn't even know I was doing that." Right? But to be all mad and then not tell us why you're mad isn't going to do anything. I want to know. Give me specific reasons. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I need to be getting the ball more in this, or Aiden O'Connell needs to look at me in this, or we worked on this play all week in practice, and when we ran it, they went completely the other way, and that's not going to win us games. Like, that's not being it's
not productive.
Oh, dude, I ain't gonna let people know, my partner under the bus or whatnot. Like, Carr used to do that a lot, like that real passive aggressive where they know who they are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to.
They know who they are, and here's the deal: the reason why guys do that is, one, they can say they're addressing it
without.
But then when they go in the locker room, hey, were you talking about me? No,
just
right.
Right. He's a good guy.
Right.
To me, like, I'm not going to speak on who, but anyone that speaks that way, they're not the good guy. They're like the weak person to me.
Yeah, because you can't address it head on.
Right. And it's not going to help. It's not productive.
Again, coaches do that stuff too, because a lot of them are insecure, right? And if there's guys that aren't getting. Tell me if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, dude. Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, if you're thinking about cutting me, like, again, what AP do? Aiden. No.
Yeah, short leash.
He did it with Peters, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
You need it, just so you know, you're out. Hey, we're watching you tough on this game. You need to perform. I'd be like,
yeah.
Right. And then he did it, and then he got cut.
Oh, Peters?
Peters, yeah.
So I didn't hear that one. What did he say to Peters?
Yeah, so I don't know what he said, but there was like definite confrontation. What it appeared to be confrontation on the sideline where AP went up to him and spoke.
What game was that?
What game was that? It was a home game. It was like the week before he got cut, right?
I think so.
He should have. Now that I know when also a player comes in, like, at a certain position, that probably whoever's starting at that position is probably about to get chopped.
Yeah. And then maybe with camera angles and I don't know, but and then after that kind of like confrontation, you see Peters off kind of like away from the rest of the team, like a little bit on the outskirts and things of that nature.
I tell you what, man, that guy,
Kansas City. Like, it was Kansas City.
I'm looking at his background and I'm going, his stats don't match up with what this guy's doing. I mean, he was terrible. I mean, absolutely, Peters was terrible as far as tackling and trying to make a play.
Didn't even try.
And that's the thing. I'm going, here's a guy that whatever happened, I don't know if physical or mental or whatever, he's not at his best, but he's just he's out there just collecting a check.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm sitting here going, no way in hell would I let that be the last?
Right. Have some pride.
Yeah. And I would, if I knew I wasn't giving it my all, and I knew I physically couldn't match up, I would say, Coach, man, I don't got it. I ain't got it no more. I can help out with some young guys. I can run down on special teams and stuff. I could be a backup or if you need me on certain plays, but I wouldn't want to be out there.
No way.
I wouldn't
like that. Right.
I remember when I was with the Lions and we were playing Green Bay and this was the 16th game of the 0-16 season. And I remember the coach said, "Stu, we want you to start." And I said, I don't feel comfortable starting because I don't have a good grasp on this defense. And like I was like, I think you should start this guy because he knows what's going on. I just don't feel comfortable that I'm gonna go out there. I might mess something up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to put that on film.
No,
I don't want to put that on film. No,
not at all. Like I'm thinking now that'll never go. Like all the stuff you did earlier. Nah, bro, it's that highlight that you just tackles.
Yeah.
Like me and Doc said he was doing like the Matrix.
Yeah, he was doing everything not to touch the guy. And the thing is, you always hear about, I'm from Oakland, and come on, man, that's BS, man.
That's the other thing that I couldn't believe that.
I don't know if it's BS, but why won't you want to show up more because of that?
That's what I'm saying.
But I know,
I couldn't believe that he was from Oakland. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like. I mean, because even Marshawn ended strong with us. I mean, of course, it wasn't his Seattle days, but I mean, Marshawn made sure he still put some good stuff on film.
He gave us his best.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, now was his best possibly his best? No, but I mean, he was still. And again, those were during the years I didn't watch. How many years did he play actually for the Raiders?
Oh, was it like 2?
Yeah, I think it was 2. Yeah,
I think it was 2.
He was productive. I mean, he was.
Yeah, he did pretty well.
I thought he was productive. A lot of people
was he the main back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think the thing with Marshawn was people were basing him off of Marshawn. It was like Marshawn in Oakland versus Marshawn in his prime. So I do think he tried his hardest and he did his best, but he wasn't the guy he was with Seattle.
I mean, at that point, he had to have been up there in years, right?
Yeah, he was.
11, 12.
Yeah.
Was he like
running backs around 6, 7, or 8 years, man? That's it's hard to go. I mean, you have a guy like Frank Gore, which is ridiculous, or Adrian Peterson, which
it's crazy,
ridiculous. But most of the time, I mean, running back, I don't know how those guys make it that long.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking every
play, was he like 30 then? 30?
Who?
Probably
Marshawn. I think he was like 30 then, right?
He was probably over 30 at that point. But again, I mean, he did his job. He's not.
Yeah. He was probably over 30 because I think his years were 20. I want to say 20.
So he played 12 years.
17.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking with the Raiders. I want to say it was like 17 and 18. 17, 18. Yep. So 5. Yeah. So 32, something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He was. I mean, honestly, he did well enough. I'll put it this way. He did well enough that when we had those 3 draft picks, I didn't necessarily want us to get Josh Jacobs at the time because I'm like, I could go one more year with Marshawn. I was like, let's get a couple other guys. I can go one more year with Marshawn. So he did well enough for me to think that.
Yeah, but again, like I remember in Detroit. I remember you remember Julian Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Defensive end for 49ers.
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Well, he's from. I'm not sure if he might be from Florida or Michigan, but he played at Michigan State. So I remember watching him, and he was when I knew he was coming over, and he's coming off a Pro Bowl year with the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came over, it was when Jim Schwartz just got the job, and it was that spring. Like he came over, and they signed him to a pretty big deal, and he was terrible. I mean, I was like, dude, like literally, like, I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, this dude
this ain't the same guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, this guy's stealing money.
I was gonna say, is that a common theme in the NFL? Like, you do well, and then you get your big paycheck, and then you're like, I'm good now. Like, is that a common theme, or is that a trend lately, or is that a coincidence?
Albert Hainsworth.
Like that.
You know what? That's a good question, and I think for me, I think guys, there's a sense of entitlement. Like I'm owed this.
I've earned this. Yeah. I made if you average it out, I made my money playing for peanuts. Now I'm going to take it easy type of mentality and spread it out.
This one last contract. And here's the deal. And like we talked about, right? A coach brings this guy in, right? Signs him a bunch of money as a free agent. So they are gonna
every opportunity.
Dude, how come this dude is terrible and they're not saying nothing about it? I can't do nothing right. Like they're constantly, but this dude, and that creates a lot of divide. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think these guys, they just hey, come on in. They may tell them, you know, hey, I've been this. They might sell them a dream, you know, like Chandler Jones did, sold us a dream, right? And they bought it.
Yeah,
sounded good in the meeting. And comes in, and for me, I would feel terrible. I would knowing that I'm coming in and I'm packing it in. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see if you come in and you're like as a league minimum guy, just saying, hey, I want to finish here. I'll play, but I want to help out and mentor some younger guys. Don't pay me the big bucks. Pay a guy that's going to come in and get his big second contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess I'm a little bit different. A lot of guys, again, football they feel like is their right rather than a privilege, which is
it's a wrong mentality.
It is, and I get it. There were times where I think I may have got a little too big for my britches. And I remember Willie Brown also said, listen, there's another one of you tomorrow. Like there's no matter how bad you think you are, no matter how great you are,
it's always the next
you get off that football train, the train of professional football, it doesn't stop. That thing keeps on rolling, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be a guy that comes that's gonna be doing the same thing, if not better.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's those couple of players that are irreplaceable.
Special, yeah.
I mean, that's a small percent of a small percent of a small percent of a small percent.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I will say, I think for, just circle back a little bit for Marshawn, I think he really did give his all, even though his all might have not been his best in his prime. But what I did,
he gave his all.
Oh yeah.
He did. No, yeah. But I'm saying people compare him to him in his prime, so he kind of got a little bit of bad rap.
You can't do that. And you can't compare him to like a guy like Woodson who comes back and is still
right.
Yeah.
Right. But what I do like, I kind of want to compare him a little bit to AP though. I think. And what Marcus Peters did not do, he brought back that Raiders vibe, that Raiders mentality at the time, like that Oakland vibe. And I thought that was good I thought it was good for the team. I thought it was good for the fan base. And I really thought that brought the team together and it gave the team a little bit of a spark. It certainly gave the fan base a little bit of a spark. I mean,
I kind of laughed like Devontae Adams. Like Devontae Adams was kind of doing. I'm like, you ain't getting hyped.
Can you ever remember playing in the Oakland Coliseum or anywhere really where one single player has the guy in the very last row? Not only the guy, but every person in the very last row up and excited about a game. Like that's special. To me, that's special. Energy. I'll never forget that.
Energy. Like you can tell he's and I met him shortly, I think 2 years ago at one of the reunions. I had a chance just to kind of say what's up to him. I didn't get a chance to sit down and talk to him very much, but he's always got a smile on his face, right? He's a kid at heart, I mean, a phenomenal football player, tough, big, scary looking dude, right? But that positive energy like that, I believe in positive mindsets and positive thinking, and like that goes a long way. And a guy like him, that's contagious.
Yeah, it is.
That having fun and remembering, guys, listen, this is the greatest job in the world. Like we're playing a game. This is a game
that we played for free, that we loved as kids.
And brought that up, right? And
yeah.
he was like, yo, like, why are guys poo potting and walking in here all bummy and stuff when you could be out laying new roofs, you know what I'm saying? In the hot sun working for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's put things in perspective here. And I get it when you're in that. I mean, I think about some of the stuff I complain about, and I'm just thinking, like, Stu, you should have just shut.
Yeah, we all are. It's all relative.
When you're in it, unless you have someone going, "Hey, listen, like, I know, I know, in this environment, this kind of sucks right now, but look at what you're complaining about." You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, like, dude, like, chill out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because you can. I mean, when we were losing, it can become a long season. But if you go out there and you come to work and you have that mindset, that negative mindset, I know this. Whenever I thought I was going to mess up,
messed up.
There were times we would be winning, and I'd be like, "We're going to lose this game." We're just. I don't know where the thought came from. You can feel that momentum change, where you're like, "We're going to lose this game." And guess what? We would lose it.
Yeah.
There are other times where I'm like, we're gonna win this game. I'm gonna make the play that
energy is real, man.
I'm gonna make the play that gets the ball back in the offense's hand. Then it's up to them. But I'm gonna be the guy. And when I would think that stuff, it would happen. You know. So having a guy like Marshawn that gets the crowd going, like, that's why I always tell the fans, even before the game starts, I'm like, guys, don't already start saying this is going to be a terrible game and I want
to ask you something.
I mean, like, I believe that energy does affect.
Can I ask you something, Stu? Speaking of that, because I don't know if you noticed this, but it actually bothered me. I wasn't able to attend the Chargers game. I still live in California, so I'm a season ticket holder, but I can't go to all the games. But it really bothered me watching that game on TV where you're seeing this ass beating an historic win in Raiders history, and the crowd was almost gone by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? And did you have some sort of feeling about that?
So I didn't notice it because I was too excited about what was going on. Right? Okay. I did notice. So I actually after that game, just to see, I went through and I read over probably like 1,000 comments from different shows, and I could not believe how negative the comments were.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, my gosh, like, this is unreal. What we have been.
Finally, it was fun.
At least it's supposed to be. Yeah.
I mean, it was almost literally the perfect game. It really. I mean. 8 different guys scored a touchdown.
Yep.
2 touchdowns on defense, a turnover on special teams. Aiden, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Defensive touchdowns.
What's that?
Defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, all that. Everything you want.
Freaking.
Jacoby throws. Your receiver throws a touchdown.
And it's against the
Chargers.
Yeah.
And their coach gets fired. Like, dude, this is awesome.
A 300-pounder picks up the ball and scrambles and goes 50 yards. Like,
in there, like, dude. And then, but defense gave up 21 points. I'm like, I can't. Are you kidding?
I know. It's so.
You gotta be kidding me. Or this big one, and this was a thing that I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I how do I say I love the nation? But there's some of the nation that I cannot believe.
Oh,
we're all there. We're all there with you, man.
We say that all the time, Stu. We say that all the time. I love the nation, but I hate the nation at the same time.
We usually say it behind the scenes, but we're there with you.
Oh my God.
I couldn't. Well, I don't understand why everyone's so happy to win a game that didn't mean anything. I'm going,
whoa, how does it not mean anything? We're literally still in the playoff hunt.
I'm like, every game in the NFL, like NBA, baseball, they can go a whole week where games don't matter. Like, NFL, every single play matters.
Right.
And I'm sitting there listening to people, Yo, cheer! This is so stupid because this is a game that didn't mean anything, and now we're dropping back in draft spots. And I'm going,
I can't.
Okay. I got
narrative.
Yes.
We talked about that at the top of our show. We can't get into the narrative of losing for a draft pick. First of all, draft picks aren't guaranteed. Second of all, they're still in the playoff contention.
Ooh, I gotta know what you think on that.
To lose ever.
The NFL is a very alpha male, ego-driven, chauvinist. I don't want to say chauvinistic, but one-on-one.
Yeah,
I am
better than you. Yeah,
and I'm telling, like, they're like, dude, we should just cash the rest of the season. And I'm going,
no.
Like, in the NFL, so you're telling me, hey, Breeze, hey, listen, we're not going to make the playoffs. These last 3 games, just throw some picks, just lose some games so that we can get a higher draft pick on a guy that could take your position. Here's the deal. If a coach ever asked a team or a guy were to take a fall, that might be his last play. He may never play again. If a coach wants to lose a game, that could be the last game that he coaches because of that loss. Yep. Or a GM. Or do you really want – because here's the deal. They always say no matter – if you're on that field, give it your best because you're auditioning to 31 other teams.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if all of a sudden you're bumming it up,
thank you.
What is this guy doing?
That film don't go away.
It'll never happen. You're telling me on national TV.
No.
Thank you,
in a sport
man.
like football, where it's mano-a-mano, either you're a better man than me or tougher guy than me or a better football player than me, it's all coming to this play that I'm just going to let you score on me?
Thank you, man.
Never. Now, have there been times maybe on the last game, maybe they move some guys around or sit a guy when maybe they press, that's probably a little bit of that.
Yeah.
As far as a player goes, no way. Now, in the NBA, that's different, right? Like you can still have a good game, but just don't hit that last free throw to win the game, right? Or it's a little easier, right? You know what I'm saying? Where you can control. But I'm telling you this, there is no how much work goes into and how much pressure.
We said all this. Yeah.
And how much how many people are watching you?
Yeah.
And how every single play, literally every play matters.
Yeah.
The pressure on every single play matters. No way in hell are you ever going to give that up. Because again, that fumble or that interception or that missed tackle, they could be like,
people are going to remember that happened to you. Yeah. We talked about this early in the show. I mentioned Mad Max as just an example, but there's plenty of guys. They're going to wake up early in the morning. They're going to show up at the facility. They're going to work hard. They're going to sacrifice their time, leave their family, blood, sweat, and tears. And you're going to say, oh, you probably won't make the playoffs, so just don't try. Like, to me, that's absurd. And to your point, they took Max out, towards the end of the game because they were, they're kicking ass and he still has a little bit of an inflamed knee. That makes sense. I would have loved him to see him get a sack and stay in. But it makes sense.
Let some other guys get some run.
Yeah.
Let them get some burn out there. Let them get an experience. Let them work on their because you might get a guy out there and all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Those
live reps mean something.
Can I speak to that as well? Because you brought up the defense or whatever gave up 21 points and people were like mad at it. They shouldn't have given up that many points. Yeah. Well, okay, that's a side note, but if you think about it, okay, but also they took out their starters and let some other guys in to get some. So maybe if they would have left the starters in, they would have been 21 points, but that doesn't even matter at that point.
Well, no, and here's the deal. What worried me, because I know for us, whenever we went up really quick, it's hard to keep that going.
Right.
You're gonna have it to where all of a sudden you're just. And other teams
you plateau.
Yeah. And they kept it going pretty damn.
Yeah, they did.
Pretty damn far. And then the other thing is, and also too, you're talking about a Chargers defense that was just terrible.
Oh my!
They didn't have. And I go, listen, guys,
These are NFL
players.
Thank you.
Yeah. These guys are the best in the world at this sport. I don't care if it's the third string guy.
Man, thank you.
That guy's getting paid, and that guy's a hell of a football player. I said this. I said literally. What would we score? 63 points.
63, yeah.
It would be hard to score 63 points on 11 pumpkins on the field. Literally. Seriously. Like, I don't care who, like, that's hard to do, let alone against other badass football players. Yeah,
right.
They did not have some of their best, but that don't matter. The guys that are in there are there because they are the best in the world. So,
thank you.
But again, I say that, you know, these fans would complain about the rope they're hung with. You know, they don't want to be happy. They like that for whatever reason. They like negativity, and they're not fan. I mean, I guess they're fans, but I mean, they're not. Like, I look at it and go, just be rational. You know, that guy is trash and he's garbage and this, and I'm like, can we like not go top shelf with everything? Like,
right.
He's the best player ever.
Right. Or he's total trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just come in here a little bit and just, you know, hey, you know what? This guy with some time could be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or, yeah, did he have some mistakes? Yes. But look at the circumstances. Look at the situation.
Yeah. That's a good point.
What's going on? Like, you have to look at everything, because I just and here's the deal. I don't believe that you should mother F a guy because he gets a ball caught on him, or he gets tackled on the 1 yard line. That, again, those guys are getting paid too.
Exactly.
When you should really get on somebody is when they go out and they do something above themselves, like personal fouls, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like doing something that's going to cost the team.
Like a boneheaded, like a mental lapse or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or, you know, in a situation to where, you know, there's a late hit because they're thinking that's what it means to be tough. Or they do stuff off the field they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, or there's certain job requirements that they're not fulfilling.
Yeah.
Get mad at guys for that stuff.
Like not watching, like not watching games
caught on them.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't, like, that to me, like, yeah, you can be like, oh, damn, you know what I mean? But he sucks. He's garbage. He's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and again, you could see, like, Peters, you could see clearly that he didn't care.
He didn't give a damn. Yeah.
Like Robertson, right? 21.
Yeah. He just got beat. He just got beat.
And I think in the one play, I think it was Morag, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He wasn't over top. Touchdown. Yeah, he was supposed to be over top.
I watched that, and I tried to get the best angle. The other safety was playing like a cover 4 or cover 2.
Yeah, he didn't go back
on the tight end, and the reason why I knew he messed up is because our linebackers, I think Diablo had him. And he came down. You're not going to have two guys on one.
Oh, somebody's supposed to be back. Yeah.
And when 21 was like,
he's looking like, where's my help?
Yeah. That he doesn't mentally screw up. He knows what he's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't like did it that, and I'm like, that wasn't even his play, man.
You're right. There's a lot of that. Yeah, you see a lot of that.
I just could not believe after the Vikings game, we lose 0-3, and everyone's talking about offense, and we can't score points, and this and that, and then we almost set an NFL record. Yeah, but Chargers suck, and but this, and I'm going, guys, I'm sitting here going, let's enjoy like this. These are the moments that don't come around.
Exactly.
Yeah, those were two extremes, but yeah, you got to enjoy the fun moments, and that was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, no one can tell me,
right
now. I'm gonna wear my Raiders gear, my Aiden O'Connell. Like, no one can tell me nothing, dude.
Right.
It's rare that you can do that.
This is actually funny. So I went to, after the game, like I had my training next morning, like I workout training, and I have my Raider stuff on, and it's not like normal that I would wear that to like a training or whatever, but someone comes up to me and goes, "This is the one day you could wear that."
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's not the first day I've worn it, but
right, like
for your validation.
but again, like you're not gonna like wear that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like
I mean, I was actually laughing because I had a lot of fans sending me, Stu, you were right, dude. I apologize for being so hard on Aiden, or I was, this and that. I'm like, and here's the other thing too, is when I went on shows, Doc was like, talk that da da da, and I'm like, no, because this isn't a surprise to me. I knew this is the type of guy he was, and I knew we were going to have a good game.
right.
What I don't want to do is, I told you, y'all don't know, da da da.
Yeah. Because then if something bad happens,
there's going to be a game where he doesn't play very well.
Then they're going to be on your ass. They're
going to be on me. Just again, like you look at Deion Sanders, that very first game against TCU, I'm like, bro, like.
Yeah, calm down. You put a target on you.
At that point, we didn't know TCU was terrible, and TCU, and he, like, dude, you're not gonna go undefeated, man. You need to chill out, dude.
That backfired.
Like you gotta say, I said that, but you gotta be cool about it. And again, it's just.
Let me ask you this, Stu, about particularly about AOC, because you're both Purdue guys, so. I know you like him, but maybe there's a little bias there, and that's okay. Okay.
There is absolutely there.
And
there's a bias
or loyalty, however you want to word it.
Bias for all my Purdue guys. There
you go.
Be honest. There's a bias, but I will be honest.
Okay. All right. So here's my question to you, because I'll speak for myself, Chris. I said last week on our show that. And not because of that one game, I still think that the Raiders need a quarterback, and AOC does a good job. I don't think he's the answer,
right? Because really, AOC's our only guy. Garoppolo, no, right. And Hoyer, no. So
definitely no for Hoyer. Yeah, definitely no.
We need two more quarterbacks, really. Right?
So what do you think? Because people, like you say, the Raiders fans, like, they're so volatile. There's no pragmatic thinking out there, really. So. One game, get rid of him. Second game, or last week, get rid of him. This week, oh, he's the savior or whatever. And we had people telling like in our comments, like, oh, you're going to eat crow now because you said the Raiders need a quarterback, and look what he did. And he did a great job. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I'm also not going to backpedal. I think the Raiders still need a quarterback. What do you think? Is AOC the guy of the future, or not?
People must just like to give me crap because I didn't hear anyone besides saying Aiden played pretty good, but it's always, always like, Aiden played good, but da-da-da. So I'd like to hear some of the fans. They must just like to give me shit and get me going, I guess, man.
Maybe.
Yeah. I believe, and again, I say this, again, what do I know? Right. I only played in the NFL. I've only been around guys.
Talk your talk.
What? I'm just some guy in the basement, right?
No.
Don't go off me. Just go off of guys like Daniels, the quarterback that played a long time. He does breakdown of film. Listen to Trent Green. Listen to the announcers. Mm-hmm. And these are NFL quarterbacks talking about another quarterback. His throws, his progressions, saying like that throw is unbelievable. I mean, for him to do what he's doing and again, what I always heard with Carr was, but Stu, he's had so many different head coaches and so many different coordinators. Here's a kid who's had 2 head coaches, 2 offensive coordinators, and he's a rookie.
In 1 year. In 1 year.
And to be honest with you, he's kept us in every single game. Has he made some bad plays? Yes. In Minnesota, the throwing it out of bounds, the intentional grounding. I thought Minnesota was giving him looks. He looked flustered. The interception at the end, bad plays. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bad plays, right? But we've been in every single game, right? And here's why I think he's so good is his percentages. He left Purdue the all-time percentage leader, finishing with like 72.5 or 71.2%. I mean, you're talking over Bob Greasy, Len Dawson,
Crazy.
Jim Everett, Kyle Orton, Drew Brees. I mean, again, the cradle of quarterbacks. There's some really good quarterbacks that come from Purdue, and this guy completes more passes than any of them. So he's making smart decisions.
Yeah.
And again, he's putting that ball in some spots that only his receiver can get him. Now, is he making some bad throws? Yeah. But also, too, 3 or 4 of his incomplete passes are drops some of the time.
That's true, too.
Right?
That's true.
You know, so I think for what he has shown, I've always been impressed with the kid because I know this. He prepares the way that you want
to
prepare, right? He prepares the way that you want a Raiders player to prepare.
Okay.
Right? You see him up there, he answers every question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he does. He does.
And for the most of the time, he takes the grunt of it.
He does.
Right? He's up there. I love it. He's just in a t-shirt. You know what I mean? He's not a flashy guy. He's the guy. Candid Purdue as like I said, when I first met him, 8 string.
Wow.
Stuck in there and built his way up and beat some really, 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 really good players in the Big Ten and some good teams. To me, I think he's our guy.
Oh, okay.
I think that get him in with a consistent offensive coordinator, get him comfortable with, again, the guy's a rookie. How many rookie quarterbacks do you see balling out? Again, I go back to Peyton Manning.
Yeah, struggled.
28 interceptions.
Yeah.
Went 3-13.
Yeah.
His first 3-13 as a starter, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Right? But back then they gave guys a chance.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, there was a guy in mine who I loved. He was in there and he was giving good comments. We were going back and forth. He said he's had enough time. What did he say? In 6 games, that's enough time for him to adjust to the NFL. And I'm going, 6 games?
That seems like not enough.
That's what people are giving guys now, 6 games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The first 6 games, you should be available. Like that's enough time to acclimate. Like it takes guys years.
Yeah, like Rich Gannon. How long did it take Rich Gannon to go? Yeah.
Exactly.
And plus,
again, you look at even like Brett Favre. He had his struggles in San Diego.
Yeah.
He didn't win a Super Bowl till he was 8 or 9 years in. Peyton Manning, 8 or 9 years in. Eli Manning, like Matt Stafford, 12 years in? You know what I mean? Like Russell Wilson, it took him time. Like it takes time. And these are guys that really you should expect because they came out with some pretty big names.
Yeah.
First round picks where pressure's a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
You expect a little bit more. Who expected anything out of Aiden O'Connell besides you and me?
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing with me is I think people don't realize, like, when you're come in as a 3rd string quarterback, you get no reps in practice.
0.
You get like you have to fight. Like I was talking to my buddy Josh Harris.
You're doing scout team. You're doing scout team.
Like you only get like a couple live reps, and some of those reps might be handoffs. So one of my buddies that play for the Ravens, Josh Harris, he told me, he was like, man, I might go a whole practice and only have 7 live reps, and 4 of them may be handoffs. So I got 3 real reps.
Yeah.
And like, and Aiden.
Well, and think about this. Think about the first time he played the Chargers. 7 sacks?
Yeah.
Right? So you're going into that game like a lot of guys would be like,
they would, like this ain't for me.
he did. That's one thing about him, dude. He is a stone. I don't know what not stone, but he doesn't get flustered. That's why against Minnesota, I was a little. It wasn't like him because I could see he was flustered. He was. He wasn't comfortable in the pocket. They were doing something defensively that was giving him some what's the word I'm trying to think of, but giving him some issues, right? Mm-hmm. But again, here's the thing that I always look at. Cowtown, he was in mine earlier. We want, right, as a Raiders fan, what do you want your quarterback to do?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want them to prepare well. You know, we didn't get that with like a Jamarcus Russell. Right. I want them to have a real winner's attitude, like really care. Actually, more like quarterbacks that think what is it? Well, Serena Williams will always say this. She was like, I hate winning more than I like losing. So those two things, which I don't think Derek Carr gave us. I think
say that again.
She said
I hate losing more than I like winning.
Did I say it backwards? I say backwards. Yeah. Sorry, I said it backwards. Yeah, she hates losing. Sorry, she hates losing more than she likes winning.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, so that I want that mentality. So the first one I don't think we got from Jamarcus Russell, lack of preparation. The second one I don't think we got from Derek Carr. He wanted to win, but I think he was okay with losing.
Let me say this. So you're really diving deep into it. Think more of just from a football standpoint. What do you want to see your quarterback do?
Take care of the ball.
Okay.
No.
Be a leader.
Yeah, definitely be a leader.
Okay.
Don't rattle under pressure.
Okay.
Execute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Execute.
Guys, come on.
I'm missing it.
Score touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting too analytical here.
Don't turn the ball over, right? Win games.
Right.
Right. Give us a chance in the fourth quarter. Right.
He's doing that.
So he's done all those, right? And here's a quarterback that's done all that, and he's in our organization right now.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Raiders jersey right now. Why do we want to put him aside and put all our money and faith into a kid
to see if they have those?
Who hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the NFL players go a long way off potential. Potential gets guy a long way. Well, we know what Aiden can do, but man, what if? Like again, like
FOMO, fear of missing out.
Losing more than I like winning.
Yeah,
I want to go where the higher percentages are. I don't like the high risk, high reward. That's why I don't gamble. I'm going, dude. We know this guy can win games. We know this guy can complete passes. We know this guy can run an offense. We know this guy gives us a chance to win. This other guy, I don't know. He could be a disaster, an absolute disaster. Because again, none of these guys is any indication of what they're going to be like in the NFL until they step in the NFL.
That's true. That's 100.
And I'm going man. Yeah. And again, I'm not saying we can get a quarterback. I don't think we need to get. And again, I want to ask you guys this, and I asked my buddies in my chat, what is your thoughts on a mobile quarterback?
I was just going to ask you that. Me personally, and that's what scares me about Aiden, because I don't necessarily need like a mobile as far as like a Mike Vick, but I want somebody that can at least help themselves when the line breaks down and the pressure comes. And that's the only thing that worries me about Aiden. I'm hoping that, as he continues to develop, he'll be able to get the ball out quicker, know where to go with it. But, when the line breaks down and he has to kind of move, that's what worries me. So that's why I kind of want a mobile guy, but that's what worries me.
Yeah, I think a mobile quarterback is essential in today's game, to be honest. No.
Okay. Let me as a mobile quarterback. Go ahead, Spicy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think it's essential because I think, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be like a running quarterback, but it has to be more like, kind of what Chris was alluding to. You have to be able to say, hey, that first look's not there. Maybe the second look's not there. Let me buy myself some time. Let me be able to move around and see what could develop after the fact. That's kind of more what I'm looking for. Maybe I have like some sort of like PTSD of seeing like the past just being thrown out, too often. But yeah, I would like to see the quarterback give themselves a chance on second and third looks.
Right. Yeah, because the biggest thing for me is a lot of times the difference between like a big play and a big loss of a play is like a second. Just like even when you watch Mahomes, I mean, the fact that he can step it up in a pocket and create that one more second to give a Tyreek Hill a chance to get free or a Kelsey to get free.
Now remember, let's compare and talk about guys. I mean, I don't think it's fair to talk about Mahomes because there's no Mahomes, right?
True,
I mean,
true, that's true.
That's no one's like Mahomes besides Mahomes, right?
True.
For me, what quarterback in the NFL can't just do this and just get out? What quarterback can't do that?
I mean, I don't think
no quarterback.
You said that can't do that?
What quarterback just sits there like this?
He's saying, yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that. Yeah.
Right? Like what quarterback does that? For me, like everyone's on this Penix, right? Penix, I saw him for 3 years at Indiana. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. He has 2 major knee injuries.
Yeah, I'm scared of him.
On both legs.
I'm scared of him.
Now, when a quarterback's in the pocket, right, he's protected in certain ways. You can't go low on the guy. You can't do certain things, right? You're protected. When you take off,
you're a runner.
You're open game. So now I'm looking at it going, dude, you're opening yourself up for some major injuries because, again, a quarterback's body isn't made for taking hits all season. A running back's body is. A tight end's body is. A receiver knows how to get down and, you know what I'm saying? They're not getting big hits on them.
Yeah.
Quarterback's body's not made for that, right? So you might, earlier on in the season, guys running around. But as the season wears on, man, when it comes down to the playoffs, dude, one, are you even going to have the guy available, right? Is he going to be injured? Is he going to be available for us to even have him? And two, when he's out running with the ball, he's a liability with the fumbling. And I'm looking at how many quarterbacks. And I made this comparison. If you look at I think mobile quarterbacks will win you games. They're never going to win you a championship. They're not going to win you a Super Bowl. Perfect example, 49ers versus the Ravens. Who was the Ravens quarterback?
That was Flacco?
Flacco, a guy from Maine. Right? Against, and here's the deal.
Cap.
Both the coaches were the same. Both teams had great defenses.
Yeah.
Right? Very similar teams. Colin Kaepernick, athletic as you can get. Who won that game?
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think
I see Mahomes as a mobile quarterback though, and he's won in recent years.
He is an athletic quarterback.
Okay.
But that's what I want then. Maybe not mobile.
Maybe we want athletic.
Yeah.
What's that?
Then maybe we change our mind. We want athletic
quarterback. Yeah, they don't have to be mobile.
Yeah, I think that's fair, right? I mean, is Matt Stafford a mobile quarterback?
No, I'd say
Goff a mobile quarterback.
But then I think that's it though. I think who else could you name that isn't?
Let's see.
What about Jalen Hurts? Would you see him as mobile or athletic?
He's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay,
but he didn't win, right?
What about Burrow?
Not yet.
What about Burrow? Burrow's athletic.
Potentially.
Burrow's athletic.
Yeah.
Burrow's athletic, but I wouldn't call him a mobile. I wouldn't call him a mobile quarterback.
Okay. Then I'll switch what I say. I want an athletic quarterback.
Definition or what I thought the definition was. Sure. I would say someone who can
not a mobile quarterback. When you say mobile,
you're thinking
Jacksonville. He's not a mobile quarterback, right?
Lawrence, yeah. No.
Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay, so I'll say athletic and not mobile.
Okay, athletic, someone who can move a little better and extend the play. How's that? And
was Peyton Manning away?
No, he wasn't. No.
Was Brady mobile?
Brady's not. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Brady was elusive. Aaron Rodgers was athletic.
That's the thing. Elusive, different now.
No, yeah, that's what I'm.
These kids that people are all up in arms about. With
you're right.
And with the kid down there in LSU, those guys run. That kid in LSU, I mean, is a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
But again, I want a quarterback. I don't want an athlete. Or we just said athletic quarterback.
Yeah.
I want a quarterback. I don't want.
I hear you. You make a lot of sense.
Slash runner.
Right.
So you don't think that he's an athletic quarterback from LSU?
Manning wasn't mobile. Eli Manning wasn't mobile. Who else?
But also there wasn't. I mean, you had like the Julius Peppers, but you didn't have defensive linemen running 4.5s like the guy from the Eagles. Whose name Jordan Davis?
Tuck and fucking Derek Burgess.
Yeah, you had like Julius Peppers and some guys like that. But
Devon Kearse, the freak.
Yeah, he was
Mario Williams. I mean,
but now it's like they're everywhere. Every team has them now.
It wasn't like you had a bunch of non-athletes on defense now. When Peyton Manning was winning Super Bowls, and when Eli was winning Super Bowls, and when Tom Brady was winning Super Bowls, when Aaron Rodgers was winning Super Bowls, you had some bad motherfuckers out there like Warren Sapp coming off, up the fucking hill. I mean, you had guys, athletic guys coming off the edge, athletic linebackers, Thomas Howard and some of these guys, right?
Oh, he was fast as hell. I remember.
Sean Marion, Sean Phillips.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you had athletic guys out there, and those quarterbacks did just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you totally convinced me. I will say this though. If there is a way to extend the play, maybe, and like I said, maybe I have a little bit of PTSD because I feel like, the years past with the Raiders, the recent years past with the Raiders, the ball was just thrown away way too soon, in my opinion.
So here's a perfect example. I Rod Woodson, Purdue, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played with him with the Raiders, a very close friend of mine. I said, Rod, who was the toughest quarterback you ever? Before I could even get out, I said, Dan Marino.
Mm.
He said, Dan Marino.
He couldn't move at all.
He said Dan Marino, and he said Dan Marino had really nobody down there in Miami, but he said he just could move enough just to get out of the way, right?
Yeah, and that release.
He knew that pocket presence, and he said the other thing that made him so tough was he said there was no, he didn't know if he was throwing here. I mean, it was too quick.
Yeah.
Again, all you need is the guy that just can move. And you know what? If it's 3rd and 5, and he has a chance to get to that.
Do you think Aiden could do that though?
Absolutely, I've seen him do it.
And that actually is kind of the definition of mobile. He's not redefining it, but he's educating. That is more the definition of mobile, is doing these little movements to be able to extend the play instead of being the
Brady was a god at that. Brady was the king of that.
I mean, I know, Josh. How often are they? I guess for me, if you're designing like a package of where the quarterback is the main runner, like you can have some nakeds, right, or that type of stuff. But if you're putting him in as, like Lamar Jackson, it doesn't work, man. It doesn't work in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I agree there.
And guys are too fast. Defenses are too fast. And dude, quarterbacks, again, their bodies aren't built to take those type of hits. They're not. And who's the kid at USC?
Jaden Daniels.
Daniels is 6'1", 215. That is small.
I thought he was smaller than that.
6'1", he's probably 5'11", 6 foot. Is he a quarterback? Yeah. But you're saying you want him to come in. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to run? I mean, as far as throwing, I don't know of a quarterback that's more accurate than Aiden, to be honest with you.
Okay.
No, I agree. I just think for me, it's just I just want to see him be able to.
And I'm not trying to convince you guys.
No, I agree. I get
that Aiden's the guy. I'm just presenting some things to think about.
No, they're great points. I think they're great points. What do you think about someone though? Do you think someone like a Taysom Hill could be a good addition to the Raiders?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. I'm not saying it has to be him, but I think he's a huge asset in that position.
Let me say this. I guess here, okay. I think this is going to make things much, and I should be prefacing anything I say with this. I think we can use a high draft pick on a different position.
Okay.
That
Fair
we
enough.
need, i.e. cornerback, i.e. D tackle,
Okay.
i.e. maybe a running back, right? I don't think we need to waste that top. I think we can get a good quarterback later on, just like we got Aiden. I'm not saying Aiden's our only guy, because we need some quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Bring in a guy through free agent or whatever. But I just think if we're gonna spend a bunch of money on a draft pick or a free agent, let's do it at a position that we need a little more emphasis on than this quarterback spot.
Okay. Fair enough. What about do you think
wait, what was Chris gonna Chris, we were about to say something.
Well, no, because I was about to ask you what specifically do you think should be the first area of need? Because last year I thought
corner.
You think that's the number one spot?
Corner. We got one corner, but
you got Jack.
Amik, I like Amik, but he's not a starter. He's a liability. He's a liability.
I agree.
Because here's the deal, and that's one thing I say, because when I was at Purdue, a senior with a guy named Chris Clopton, who I love, and he was a very, very small corner. So he always, size doesn't whatever. And I said, I don't care how fast you are, what your football IQ is, how tough you are. If you're here and there's all that player has to do is just do this.
Exactly. Box you out.
That's it. That takes all of everything's taken away just because you're just not tall enough.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if we were to get a top corner, and here's the other thing, a corner, you can plug him in right away and he can contribute.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
There's no reason that there needs to be any. You guard that guy.
Yeah, you guard that guy and you pick it.
Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why this last draft, I mean, just us not getting Jalen Carter, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but man, that would have been such a pivotal move. We need whoever we get, it has to be a difference maker like that, who comes in right away, whether it's a corner, whether it's, because honestly, who was a top corner? What's the guy? The
guy Kool-Aid.
Witherspoon. I'm talking about the last draft. Like Witherspoon, before he got hurt, Devin Witherspoon, he played phenomenal. He's been playing phenomenal. And then the guy that got hurt for the Patriots.
Well, I know. I'm not sure if he got hurt or not, but I know Porter Jr. was a guy that I liked from Penn State.
Yeah, he's playing good too for the Steelers. Yeah.
Yep. So. I mean, maybe an offensive lineman, a stud.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think that guy from Notre Dame's going to be around, but I know there's some tackles. Receivers are a dime a dozen. You don't get a receiver.
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good.
We're good.
Tight end.
We don't need a tight end.
Yeah.
We need some offensive linemen.
What do you think about like another defensive end? Like, do you think Tyree's the answer? I mean, I know he's gotten better throughout the season. Typically that works the opposite way. So he's improving. He's showing signs of improvement. But do you think we go
Wilson, correct? Right? Mm-hmm. Our number one draft pick, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, right from Jump Street, when we drafted him, I said he's a D tackle. I said he's an interior lineman.
Yeah.
And I think what screwed us was I think maybe that was going to be where they put him. Have Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones screwed things up, so they put him at the end.
Okay.
Maybe that was a more natural position. But you saw once they moved him in, he's been playing
a
lot better. Yeah.
And that was my initial thought. I said he reminds me a lot of Tommy Kelly. He's long, he's powerful, and as they moved him in there, and then number 51, I think, has been doing great.
Yeah, Malcolm Kuntz.
Yeah, Kuntz, right? Kuntz.
Yeah, I like Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz. Yeah.
He's been doing great out there, but I don't think you can ever go wrong with a stud defensive lineman.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't have enough. I'm excited to see how this kid who we got, the second year guy who was an undrafted free agent. I'm excited to see how he plays.
Oh, the big boy, the one we just got.
The one we
just
got. Yeah. The
379. You can't teach that. That's a lot of burgers, man.
That's Ted Washington type shit.
Yeah. Ted wasn't being moved.
Here's the deal. Here was Ted Washington.
Just plug the gap.
Made a long career by just literally
just plug the gap.
He couldn't even. What do you do?
Yeah, just plug the gap. Yeah.
But here's the deal. What he's doing is he's keeping those linemen off of our linebackers.
Exactly. Yep. So how do you feel? So I know we got a dog in Spillane, and me personally, I like Diablo. Do you think we can use another linebacker?
So the thing, yes. Here's the thing with Diablo, and I like Diablo. I do. But Diablo's a safety, man. I mean, literally.
Yeah. They're trying to learn a position.
223. And they have him trying to play Mike linebacker in there. And I'm going, man, that's a tough position change.
Yeah.
Move down there and be taking on those big linemen, right? And that's why he had some issues with
gets hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's doing the best he can. I think he's a good player, but again, he's playing out of position, so I think getting an athletic, really nowadays we only play with two linebackers. There's not really a Will or a Sam, but I think a linebacker wouldn't hurt at all. Wouldn't hurt at all. And really, what's the story on Jacobs?
From what I hear, he'll be good to go for this upcoming week. Yeah, him and I think Colton. I think they're both trending to go.
His
it was a vague answer, but yeah, AP gave a vague answer of that, right?
What's your guys' thoughts on his season so far?
Jacobs?
Me personally, I know a lot of people want to bash him. I really don't think he's had much room. However, he hasn't had the explosion that he's had in the past, like where he would be able to break those one-on-one tackles and win some of those ISO matchups. He's not doing what he used to do, but I'm not down on him like a lot of people are.
Yeah,
personally.
Yeah, I definitely think he's underperformed. He's only averaging a couple yards per run. It's weird though, and maybe you would probably know this better, Stu, or you would know this better than either of us. But do you think like it's a mental thing for him, the way he was kind of like treated at the beginning of the season? He wasn't in training camp. I'm not necessarily saying the lack of training camp, but do you think that there's some sort of like mental burden on what's going on with him?
So if you guys look, if you look at the history of running backs, whenever a running back holds out, it never works out.
Well. That's true.
Right? I go back to Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Right? Or recently the homeboy who I loved at Wisconsin for the Colts.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
And Jacobs missed all of training camp.
Yeah.
And I thought, I said, wow, he looks too big to me. When he came in, I think him missing that training camp hurt. Because 2 years ago, and I said, again, when I saw Jacobs playing in that preseason game, I said, this dude's going to have a good year. He's going to have a good season by the fact that he is playing in this preseason game. He is ready to go. And he had a good year.
Yeah.
Now he misses the entire preseason.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got to believe there's a correlation there. I don't think it's attitude or anything. I think it's just by the time he got into season shape, it's almost
too late.
Yeah.
But it's like if that was the case, and it seems like he should be playing some very good ball right now, and it's still not happening.
Well, no, you would think so. Yeah. I think that even doubles the point of he's not even able to get to that point because, again, I think missing out because there is no substitution, guys. For you can do all the workouts with a trainer at your place at a facility, doing all the individual drills that you normally
live reps.
Not to have it in practice. and not to have live reps, there's just, you can't replace it. And I think with timing and different linemen and just, I think it affected him. I do. I mean, I don't see any other reason why than that. Because again, I go back to other running backs, and I'm gonna do a deep dive and look at the history of it. But running backs that hold out, them coming back,
I'm wondering if it is a mental thing too.
It doesn't happen. And again, what is he in his 6th year?
Yeah.
Around that 8-year mark.
Yeah, it's over.
It's tough, man. And
you know, Stu, I really looked to that Chargers game, the first Chargers game, not the last one, and I think it was a big eye opener for the running back in Josh Jacobs, for the quarterback in Aiden O'Connell, and for the coach in Josh McDaniels, because I think that game was lost because
of that name. Golly,
I know, right? I think it was lost because of coaching. Because when you have Josh Jacobs and you have 2 chances to punch it in within 2 yards, so that's a coaching mistake. But then also it trickles down.
Yeah, it was first. Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, but then it trickles down to Josh Jacobs not having the respect or confidence to get that. But then it also trickles down to people looking upon Aiden O'Connell like it's on him for throwing the pick. That was like bad, and badder.
That was all on the coach.
Totally. Yeah. And I don't think it did Josh Jacobs or Aiden McConnell any favors.
When Aiden threw that ball, Jacoby wasn't even looking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he didn't even know. He didn't even know he was getting the ball. So there was miscommunication. Right. Again, it amazed. It's just like you go back to Pete Carroll. You know, first down, you
have beast mode back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? They all know we're gonna run it. Let's pass.
Yeah. Overthinking.
Let's run
Make them stop you. Make them.
Let's run it. What are you doing?
Make them stop you 4 times. If they stop you 4 times, they're the better team.
Think about 2 years ago when we played the Baltimore Ravens. We had first and goal on the 1, and what did we do? I think we tried to quarterback sneak it. He got he got smoked, and then we tried to pass it, and I think we got sacked. So then it's like 3rd and 7 now, and it's like
I remember that. Like, what happened?
Taking yourself out of it, yeah.
You have a all-pro running back, and you try to run it with the quarter, and it wasn't like there was some yardage there. Like, give it to them. But these coaches, what they want to get fancy,
want to get cute. Yeah.
You know what? We've been running the ball. I remember, I think this year, McDaniels was like, they're like, oh, so you've been running it or whatever. And he's like, yeah, we got to establish the pass now, though. And it's like, no, you don't. No, you do not. You keep running it.
Make them stop you.
Yeah, you know what? We know it can do that. Let's try this. It's like, no, what do you
mean? Just do what works. Just do what works.
Yeah, just keep doing what works.
I love that McDaniels voice you did, though.
I wasn't trying to.
But I just think unfortunately, I think it had a trickle down effect. I think Josh Jacobs felt a little disrespected, and I think Aiden got a bad rap because he threw the pick when he shouldn't even have been throwing the ball. So it was like bad, and worse, you know?
No, we should have won that. We should have won that game, and that was the 3rd game, right? That was that was Aiden's first loss, correct? Right?
Yeah,
we had beaten the Jets and the Giants, and then right. But you think about this. Here's a rookie getting sacked 8 times, but he still stood in there, right? I mean, I did see like he's got some whatever it is. He doesn't let things affect him really well. Besides that Minnesota game, there for whatever reason they had him fucked. They had him messed up for whatever reason. I don't know what they were doing, but that Minnesota game had him messed up. But again, I challenge anyone, go look at when running backs decide to hold out, how does that end up for them, or how does their career after that is affected? And
they don't bounce back.
High percentage of the time.
I can't even think of anyone that it actually worked out for.
Right?
Now thinking about it, now that you put it that way, that's a good point.
Real quick, I just want to ask you one last question to that point. Who does that decision weigh more on? Does it weigh into the organization saying we're not going to play this game, or does it weigh into the running back saying I'm not going to hold out?
So, forgive me. Say that again.
So we're saying like that seems like you're saying it seems like an issue when a running back holds out. There's really no good outcome. So who's more to, I don't want to say to blame, but who should give in? Should it be the organization not holding out or the player not holding out? Like who should give first to kind of put an end to this trend, if you will?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I kind of look at it as the house always wins. You know, big bank's always going to take little bank, and you can't beat the team, man. Like, they, and again, unless you are Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith or, I'm trying to think of some just LaDainian Tomlinson, like where you are the franchise, you know, Bo Jackson or something.
Yeah,
where you can literally like, no, this is the deal. I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, you need me.
Yeah.
Teams can go out and get running backs, man. Like, I think, and again, sometimes I look at it going, how much money do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you want what you're worth, but at the same time, like, if you're, to me, when you start talking in the 15s and 20 millions, 20 million to 23 million, I don't see a difference in that, man.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would think this, your job is to play football. I want to play football. Obviously, I want market value. You know, if I think that there's a running back that's getting paid more than me that I think I'm better than, I think you have an argument. But at the same time, you're there to play football. So listen, let's come. When's training camp? You know, what's the date? I want to be there on that date.
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Let's figure this out right now.
Yeah.
Okay? If we're off by $4 million, shit.
Let's
give me one. Yeah. Give me one. You keep your three, and let's.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? But if you're nickel and diamond over.
A couple million, and that's what I didn't get. I understood why Jacobs felt that way, but then it's like I felt like the team didn't go to the negotiation table sooner. It seemed like they waited too long to start the negotiation. And it's like you guys did that a long time ago.
I mean, I get it when you feel disrespected. I mean,
yeah.
I remember going into my 5th year, they wanted me to take a pay cut, and I told Al Davis to take my contract and shove it up his ass. You know, do I regret it? You know, I mean, again,
let's go, Stu.
Big bank always like they're like, oh, okay, that's what you. But I felt disrespected. But I'm talking about like $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like 25 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, yo, if I'm at 10 and they're saying 8, I'm like, yo, just split the difference, man. Like, but I think agents get involved.
Yeah.
Fans get involved.
They start playing hardball.
Involved. But again, that's I mean, if you get $15 million in Vegas with no state tax, you're set for life. I mean, you are.
Yeah, if you're smart about it, right?
Just take. I mean, just the interest alone that you're going to get off that money should sustain you, your family, your family's family, your kids. Like, why are we splitting hairs here? And now you're in the situation you're in now, where shit. I mean, if he doesn't have good games these next 3 games, I mean, we get rid of him, and
who knows what?
It's be over.
Yeah.
You know, all over nickel. I mean, I don't want to say nickel and diamond, but you know what I'm saying, like nickel and diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I just can't. For me, like again, I just look at how big does your house need to be? How many cars do you need? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but the thing is this is his first and probably only big contract, because you know running backs don't get too many opportunities. Or really,
we just franchised them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what did he get paid this year?
Well, I think they ended up agreeing to 13. Yeah.
$13 million, guys. 13 mil.
But yeah, I think they wanted to, because the franchise tag was at 10, I think, before. So I think that's kind of, he wanted more than that. So I don't know. And for me, it's like Brandon Bolden's getting $2 million. what is he really doing? But I got to shut up because he scored this game. But I don't know.
Well, I will say this: Brandon Bolden has been one of our best special teams players. That dude, he's been great on special teams, and that is such a overlooked deal. But if you have a guy that like Gerard Cooper, I mean, we were paying him $2.5 million.
He was a beast.
$2.5 million just to do special teams, and he was worth every.
He was a beast.
Worth every single.
I remember him.
He was one of my best friends. But again, he's great on special teams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like again, that's when I talked about evaluating a guy. Is he out there on special teams? You know what I'm saying? Or is he a guy that thinks he doesn't? I'm too good to do that. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that put me wherever I can. I want to be on the field.
Yeah, I want to be on the field. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm amazed sometimes at the back and forth sometimes when it comes to some of these contracts. Because I'm just thinking after like 20, 30 million, like what is it? What is it? What does another 3 million mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe because you said, you spoke on earlier, there's an ego thing and what's this guy making and what's that guy's making and productivity and all that kind of stuff. But I'm with you. And it looks like, Mally Mall just said, I think he ended up signing for 11.5. If he wanted 13 and they franchise him at 10. So if that were the case, he's taking home, right in the middle.
He's taking home, probably, I mean, with no state tax, that really helps. Well, he's taking home probably about $7 million.
I have a question for you.
On top of what he's already made previously, and that's so. Let me just hold on. Let me just look at something real quick.
While you do that, can you answer this quick question? So is it? I know there's no like Nevada state tax, but do you pay the taxes that you play in? So say you go to New York and play 2 games.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Are you paying the 2 games worth of?
Say that again.
No, I'm asking the tax question. So I know Nevada's no state tax. But I heard every business is actually, maybe the NFL is different, but I know most business anyway, you pay taxes in the state you work. So say you play 2 games in New York. So you're paying New York taxes for 2 games, right?
Yep. So for instance, so before, let's just say he said 11.5 mil, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see this. So 11.5. That's okay. There you go. Divided by 17. So he's getting a check. Just to put things in perspective, this year, every Monday we used to get checks on Tuesday. He's getting a check every Tuesday this season. Jacobs for $676,470. Every Tuesday, right? Now, forgive me. Now, if you go, so each week, that's what you're going to get, 676,000. So if you go to New York, add in time, whatever their sales tax is. Yeah. So you're getting this weekly, but it's going to depend on where you
you play.
Like Devontae Adams, right? I think Green Bay offered him $557 million, but he's actually making more money signing a 51 or 50, whatever his contract was.
Because half the games are played.
Because he doesn't have to pay $9 million in Wisconsin state tax.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why, I wish the NFL would kind of adjust that for draft picks, right? Because they go by draft position rather than, for me, me going to California, shit.
There goes your signing bonus.
Yeah,
right over.
That's true.
The guy before me going to the Dolphins.
0 cent.
Yeah. You get to pocket the signing bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus cost of living. Plus all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you get taxed. So that's why you better hire a NFL CPA, because you have to file in every state that you play in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
So. And that's legit. To my knowledge, that's for any business.
Yeah, wherever you perform.
Well, and so I know some guys. I know there was a thing where guys would try to put primary residency.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to do that, like you have to have like show that you're paying bills and like that you're really, really living there more than half the year. And obviously when you're in the NFL, you start in August,
right?
Until February. August, September.
It's close.
Yeah, I mean but then again, in the off season back then, the off season you're expected to be there because you use their trainers and
right.
Now with the new collective bargaining, I mean they don't start the off season until like April rather than we started in the beginning of March. And it ends a lot earlier. We didn't end till like the first week in July. And you were expected to be there to train with your team's trainer. And now guys have their own trainers and they do things on their own. They're not really at the facilities too much. So you could probably do it now, but back then you had to be in the facilities.
Yeah.
So. Well, I guess I've been talking enough. I appreciate you guys letting me
on. Thank you.
It, man.
No, we loved it. It was a great conversation.
I don't know if you're able to answer any of the questions. I don't know how much you guys read the comments or not. I know some people
usually do, but I think you had a lot of good things to say, so we were stuck on those too much.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I love what you guys do.
Thank you.
I think you guys are a good source of positive Raiders information, along with being critical about the right things, but you don't overdo it, right? You don't and then you know what I mean? You guys are pretty level-headed.
I like to be pragmatic about most things. Sometimes the things are negative, but sometimes things are negative and sometimes things are positive. We should celebrate those as well.
Yeah, and I guess I just say just try to. Well, I guess how do you think of things if you don't know what to think about? So I guess again, that's why I try to present things a little bit differently.
Love your point of view.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
You have in my opinion, you have the best point of view of anybody on YouTube because you've done it. You've been there.
Yeah, you've been there. You've been in that huddle. You've been in the locker room.
More important than anyone's because you've been there.
Right.
I appreciate that because there's times where I'm going, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I sitting here splitting hairs with
fans who've never been in the locker room?
Never been in it. No,
but I love it because I love to educate fans, and fans educate me.
Yeah,
honestly. But the more you know, I think, and I want to in the new year. I'd like to try to be a little bit more consistent on my channel. I'd like to do some football 101 where. I go over cover 4. I go over man. I go over
that would be great.
That
would help.
I go over because I have all of my
that'd
stuff.
Be fine.
Go over all the calls because the more you know, the better you're going to understand the game.
Yeah, it'll start making sense.
The better input and feedback you can give because you know who messed up and you're like no actually that. No, I understand.
Well, your IQ is certainly high. I'm sure you already know that. I mean, have you ever considered coaching on any level? Or maybe you have.
No, I
but I say,
I called every. I went on. This was back in like 2015. I made a big push, either college or NFL, and I went on every NFL roster and looked at the coach and. Every NFL roster, there was at least 3 to 7 coaches that either were teammates of mine or coaches that coached with, coached me or coached against. And I called everybody, and it was, you just don't have any experience. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't have any experience. Okay, but then it's also like. Well, how do I get experience? If
Exactly.
Like, how do I establish credit if no one will give me a chance to establish credit?
Yeah, and first of all, you do have experience, so that's not even true. But yeah, it's like, how do you gain experience if no one's going to give you the shot?
Right.
And I will. I will, and I'm totally honest, right? College-wise, there was a coach that coached me in Omaha named Joe Moglia. A mentor of mine, great man. He was the head coach at Coastal Carolina. And this might have been in 2016. He called me up. He said, Stu, you still thinking about coaching? I said, man, I can't. No one will give me a shot. He says, I have a job for you. $100,000, a company car to be my DB coach at Coastal Carolina. Okay, but he goes, you got to come out here and prove to my staff and everybody else that I want you. So, dude, I put together, I'll just show you real quick. I put together this booklet here, and so here they were the I have their here.
They're like the Chantilly's or something, right?
Yeah, I have the camp. I have the mission statement of the university. I have the president. I have every coach, their background, what they did, like the fight song, everything. I came in prepared. Was there for 4 days. I was looking at houses. Actually, I came in on a Thursday. I was there Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I was leaving, but I was looking at houses. I'm thinking, I got this job, man. This is in. And I got a text message that said, Stu, unfortunately, because at the time they had 2 black coaches on staff, and one of those coaches that Sunday got hired by Nebraska. So he said, Stu, unfortunately, since we only have 1 black coach on staff, we have to fill your position with a black coach.
No.
Wow.
And,
dude, can I just say that's fucked up?
I said, that's the only reason.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And he told you that? That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah. Football is the only sport where they can do that. And I said, I can't do this. That's just, if that's the only reason, I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah. What are we doing?
And then I was, it was tough because they're like, Stu, you're a white guy trying to coach a black position, DBs. And they just,
I was wondering if that was going to come up too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then
wow.
I'm like, really? I'm like, dude, the NFL guys, they don't give a shit. As long as there's a coach that's going to make them better and get them to make plays and make more money, they don't care what.
Right.
You know?
He could be purple. All they care. Yeah.
That is such like a Hollywood thing. Cause I work in the film and photography business. So we would say this, like, it was about 2 years ago when that whole thing happened. And like, we were like literally saying it's not right to be white. It's like the opposite. You know, I don't want to be hired for a position because I'm Latina or because I'm a woman. I want to be hired because I'm the best person for the job. And if I'm not the best person for the job, then hire somebody else.
Yeah.
But that is like, I hate hearing things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I would love to, like I said, be involved from but to be honest with you, I'm glad I didn't, because the time I've been able to spend with my kids has been, you know, I wouldn't have had that time. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, as a coach, dude, you are not home. You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And college wise, when you're not playing, you're recruiting. You are gone. So, and to be honest with you, do they make some good money? But if you were to divide what their salaries are by how many hours, I bet you they're making pennies on the dollar. Some of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their hours are just ungodly. I'd rather, and to be honest with you, I much rather just being the guy that's, you know, can show up if I want, talk some shit, not watch the game, you know, not what, you know, where I have the freedom to kind of come and go as I please. So, but I appreciate that. You know, I did, you know, I had a training business, and I did like training kids, and I still have some kids I mentor, and there's no greater feeling than giving some advice and seeing a kid take that advice, and then have that advice turn into success. Like the feeling I get from that, I made a transition of outweighed anything I could ever accomplish as a individual. Seeing someone else accomplish something off of something I taught them is way far above anything I could do individually. So,
That's awesome.
but that was my my coaching. Afakasi, how you doing, brother? That was my coaching little deal. I tried, man. I tried, but it does make me sick when I see some of these guys and I'm going, like McDaniels, he's been hired twice as a head coach. And again, I'm sitting here in the basement, like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that happen? But again, I appreciate the compliment, and I appreciate you guys letting me on the show. And
yeah, thank you for being on.
Nice. You guys have a very calm atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy talking with you guys, and like I said, hopefully when I get things a little more regular on my show and stuff, and I mean I've got a guest list that is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait.
To be a little bit more consistent, and obviously you guys are always welcome, and I appreciate you guys letting me on. So
thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on with us, Stu. We appreciate you.
Have a great Christmas.
Yeah.
Same. Likewise.
Okay? And Monday,
go Raiders.
Let's see what happens. All right.
Yeah.
Go Raiders. All right, Stu.
Guys.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one, man. Appreciate it.